Welcome to Echoes Untold, where we uncover the lost voices of history, stories of courage, sacrifice, and mystery. Because history is full of whispers, and we're here to listen. Today, we bring you a tale from the depths of World War II, the tragic loss of the USS Cisco, SS-290, a newly commissioned American submarine that vanished on her maiden war patrol. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, so we can continue bringing history's echoes back to life. Now, let's travel back to 1943 and uncover the fate of USS Cisco. By the middle of World War II, U.S. Navy submarines were proving to be one of America's most effective weapons in the Pacific. Operating deep behind enemy lines, these stealthy war machines were responsible for crippling Japan's supply chains, sinking merchant ships, and even attacking warships when the opportunity arose. The USS Cisco, SS-290, was one of the newest additions to the U.S. submarine fleet. She was a Balao-class submarine, part of the Navy's effort to improve upon earlier fleet boats by increasing diving depth, adding greater endurance, and improving torpedo capabilities. Cisco was laid down on October 21, 1942, at the Portsmouth Navy Yard in Kittery, Maine, and launched on December 24, 1942, a Christmas Eve launch that seemed like a good omen at the time. By May 10, 1943, she was officially commissioned, with Lieutenant Commander James W. Coe assigned as her captain. CMDR, Coe was already a veteran submariner. Known for his aggressive tactics and sharp wit, he had previously commanded USS Skipjack, SS-184. In fact, he was famous for a humorous letter to the Navy where he complained about receiving too many toilet paper requisition forms and not enough actual toilet paper. But beyond his humor, Coe was a respected officer who understood the deadly nature of submarine warfare. After a few months of training and sea trials, Cisco was ready for her first war patrol. She was assigned to Task Force 72, operating under the command of the U.S. Navy's Southwest Pacific Submarine Force. Her mission would take her into one of the most dangerous patrol areas of the war, the Sulu Sea, near the Philippines. On September 18, 1943, USS Cisco left Brisbane, Australia, heading toward her assigned patrol area. She made a brief stop in Darwin, where she took on fuel and supplies. This was the last confirmed sighting of Cisco. From there, she proceeded toward the Sulu Sea, an area known for its shallow waters and heavy Japanese naval activity. This was an area where many submarines had met their fate, as the lack of deep water made it almost impossible for a submarine to escape depth charge attacks. Mission objective: Cisco was assigned to disrupt Japanese shipping routes near the Philippines. Intelligence suggested that convoys carrying supplies from Borneo to the Philippines were operating in the region, and Cisco's job was to intercept and destroy as many enemy vessels as possible. But there was another problem. USS Cisco was likely heading into a trap. Unbeknownst to the American command, the Japanese had recently strengthened their anti-submarine defenses in the region. The Sulu Sea was patrolled by submarine chasers, aircraft, and destroyers, all equipped with depth charges and sonar detection gear. A U.S. submarine operating in this region had little room to maneuver. The shallow waters meant that if Cisco was detected, there was no way to dive deep and escape. She would be trapped. Though the exact details of Cisco's fate remain unknown, Japanese war records provide a chilling clue. On September 28, 1943, Japanese forces reported engaging an unidentified American submarine in the Sulu Sea. A Nakajima B5N, Kate, torpedo bomber from a nearby Japanese airfield spotted a submerged object and launched depth bombs. Shortly afterward, the Japanese submarine chaser CH-6 arrived on the scene and began a series of intense depth charge attacks. The Japanese records describe a series of loud underwater explosions, a massive oil slick rising to the surface. No further signs of the submarine. The attack site was near Mindoro, exactly where Cisco was supposed to be operating. For decades, historians have debated whether this attack was what sank Cisco. Given the available evidence, it seems highly likely that USS Cisco was lost in this engagement. While the Japanese attack remains the most accepted explanation, there are other possibilities. Mechanical failure. New submarines often experience malfunctions on early patrols. Could Cisco have suffered an internal explosion or a critical failure that forced her to surface, making her an easy target? Navigational hazards. The Sulu Sea was full of coral reefs and hidden underwater obstacles. If Cisco struck an uncharted reef or seamount, she could have been disabled before the attack even began. Depth charge effectiveness. Some historians suggest that Cisco may have initially survived the attack but was so badly damaged that she couldn't return to base. If so, she might have sunk hours, or even days, later. Regardless of the exact cause, USS Cisco and her entire crew were lost. Aboard USS Cisco were 76 sailors, all of whom perished when the submarine went down. Among them was Lieutenant CMDR James W. Coe, the experienced but ill-fated Commander Executive Officer Lieutenant J.W. Reed, numerous chief petty officers, radiomen, torpedomen, and engineers. These men belonged to the Silent Service, a name given to the U.S. submarine force because of their dangerous and secretive missions. At the time, serving on a submarine was one of the most dangerous assignments in the U.S. Navy. 1 in 5 American submariners never returned home. USS Cisco and her crew remain on eternal patrol, a solemn phrase used by the U.S. Navy for submarines that were lost at sea. Unlike some lost submarines, USS Cisco has never been found. Her exact location remains unknown, though her memory is honored on the tablets of the missing at the Manila American Cemetery in the Philippines. For historians and naval researchers, her loss remains one of the enduring mysteries of World War II. Echoes Untold, where history whispers and we listen. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to keep history's echoes alive. What do you think happened to USS Cisco? Let us know in the comments below. Fact check note: the USS Cisco's loss is based on the official chronology of the U.S. Navy in World War II by Robert J. Cressman, Declassified Japanese War Records, Naval Historical Center Archives. While some details remain uncertain, the strongest evidence suggests Cisco was lost in the Sulu Sea on September 28, 1943, due to Japanese anti-submarine attacks.